Hello, my lovelies. Happy Wednesday. Happy scoping out. We're talking about agility, staying agile to change so that when life goes crazy, you're not going crazy yourself, staying in control when life is out of control. My name is Triffany, just like Tiffany with an R, and I teach the tools that help people get out of their own way so that they can create the success and happiness in their life rather than treat them like two mutually exclusive things. So the reason this is even coming up for me as per the usual is because it came up for me in my life. I've said this to a couple of different friends in just the last few days. The last week or two have kind of been I call them plan B weeks, where you think you know what's going to happen. You think you know what your schedule looks like, what your projects are, what you're going to be working on, and then the hard drive crashes. That's what happened to me. And then the client calls and needs to reschedule something, and then all of these things, somebody gets sick and you've got appointments and things that were not on the original schedule, and it looks like, by all appearances, life has spun out of control. I think the key thing here is to remember that any control we thought we had over our lives in the first place was an illusion, not actually true. We love to think we're in control, right? We have a calendar and reminders and the willpower to make sure that we meal plan properly and make our best choices in life. And to a large extent, that's true in a way. That's a reason why we worry about routine and good choices and planning ahead and thinking about the contingencies that might pop up, right? That's the reason why we do all of that in the first place, is because we want a modicum of control over our lives. It's important to remember, though, that there is 7.2 billion people in the world. We have environmental changes. We have, in my case, my hard drive failed. We have hard drives that can change. I had a kid that needed to go to urgent care and then some follow-up appointments after that. There are things that come up that weren't according to our plan. And just because that makes us uncomfortable, just because we don't like it and we didn't have something in place for it, doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean it's bad. So the very first thing you want to do in order to stay agile is change some of the judgments you've got going on in your head about right and wrong, right? These aren't good or bad scenarios. They just are, and people go, oh, it just is what it is. You can say it is what it is from a place of resignation and just, what are you going to do? That's life. Or you can say it is what it is. I assign no meaning to it. I'm not making it mean life is against me. I'm not making it mean that I can't get ahead, right? Because there's the alternate meaning for some people. As we assign meaning to all of these mishaps and completely miss the possibility of either assigning no meaning at all, which is true agility. That's like being able to pivot no matter what comes up. It doesn't mean a darn thing. I'm going to roll with it. What I like to do, and it is still an assignment of meaning, is trust that all of the things that went awry, that happened unplanned, are actually working for me. Now, in some ways I can imagine, right? I'm sure some of you do this. I talk to people all the time who do this. They get behind a really slow driver and go, well, I just assume that they're keeping me from getting a ticket down. There must be a cop up there and they're keeping me from getting a ticket. Or they get waylaid in traffic and say, well, maybe they're keeping me out of an accident, right? So we can imagine some things, and we're arbitrarily assigning meaning to shit anyway. So why not arbitrarily assign positive meaning? We get to do that, right? But then there's this actual practice. There's in the moment, in the present moment, an opportunity to not only give meaning, but practice to those things. So we're talking about agility. Why not look at the next bump in the road as an opportunity to practice staying agile to life? As we talked last week, that's the only way we get better at anything anyway, right? We don't get patience, we get opportunities to practice patience, right? So we don't just become agile and learn to pivot on a dime. We get opportunities to practice pivoting. Practice staying agile. So the next time something happens, you could even just go, oh, It's my assigned meaning, but I'm going to say this is useful for me. I'm going to say this makes me better at everything I do because I'm no longer giving away my power to life. I'm no longer saying I'm only in control when X, Y, and Z happens. I'm saying I can stay in control regardless. And I get to practice that. I get to get better at that. What about grace? Grace with other people, right? You know, I had a few cancellations personally and professionally. That's a great opportunity to practice grace. Totally understand. I don't have to know the scenario. I don't have to know why, but I can certainly understand that shit happens. That's an opportunity for me to practice grace. What about patience? Right? Patience with my computer, patience with the people that fixed it. And let me tell you, oh my gosh, what an awesome, this turned out so great. So I thought I was going to need a new computer. Took it to the Apple store. They diagnosed it as a failing hard drive, offered to replace just the hard drive. So even that right straight out of the gate was less expensive than a whole new computer, right? And the technician I was working with kind of did like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing. Like, you can kind of get this better deal somewhere else. So I called Micro Center. I got a bigger hard drive, a faster hard drive for less money than I was going to get at the Apple store. So it was good news. And then it was even better news. And so I took it to Micro Center. They gave me, you know, our technician will get started on it in 24 to 48 hours. And then we'll let you know how things go. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be without a computer for a few days. Okay. Opportunity to practice grace, opportunity to practice patience, opportunity to practice agility. And I went home and I figured out a way to use my laptop. I've got the iPad that I'm filming this thing on. I've got options, right? So I figured it out with grace, with joy, going, okay, I guess this is where I'm at. They had it done in a day and a half. What do you think would have happened if I would have been all up in their grill about it? What do you think would have happened if I would have said, oh my God, what takes you guys so long? Yeah. You think they'd be motivated to help me at all? That's our policy, miss. I would have gone to the back of the line. And let me tell you, not only that, not only do people not really want to help cantankerous old fogies like me, not only are they not feeling helpful, that resistance energy would have carried over into everything else I did. I would have taken it to the doctor's appointment with my daughter. I would have taken it to my clients who ended up canceling. I would have taken that attitude would have transferred to absolutely everything else and changed and colored everything else. And instead, everything went smoothly. That cancellation, well, there happened to be another cancellation. She could slide right in, so I still got to see that client. Everything happened okay at the doctor's office. We got tests back and referrals in 70 or 48 hours instead of 7 days. Like, things just happened because I could stay in this energy of trust and surrender and giving a meaning that was empowering to me. Let me tell you, when you walk around feeling empowered, the people around you feel empowered. They feel empowered to do better at their job. They feel empowered to answer your phone call. They feel empowered to go that one step above and help you do that thing that is kind of outside of policy. It's like magic. So the next time you feel like life is spinning out of control, I want you first to take a beat. Understand, any control you had in the first place was an illusion. Things happened to work for a while, and that's great. We don't have control. We have practice, right? Second of all, check your meaning. Are you making it mean that, the fact that life has gone out of control, are you making it mean something negative? Are you making it mean life is against you? Are you making it mean you can't handle it? What are you making it mean? And if it's negative, reflect on that. Don't judge yourself. Don't come down on yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. That's an opportunity to practice compassion with yourself, right? Take that moment and just allow this opportunity to reevaluate what you're making it mean. And then stay present to what is. Okay, so this is what is. What else is there? It is what it is. And it's an opportunity to what? It might be saving you from something that's a made up meaning. That it could be true. It could absolutely be true. And in the moment, where you have control is over this. Where you have control is over you. Right? So in that moment, take the control you have, wrap it up